ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. Wait, just want to make sure that this is working right. Just want to make sure y'all can hear me, y'all can see me, y'all can listen to my podcast, my review. Oh, what the? I hate when it does this. I hate. I know my camera keeps acting up. Hopefully, this is the last time I'm gonna do a live stream. I'm gonna start. I think I'll do a live stream on my video game on my PS5. Oh, come on. Alright. I just want to make sure this is working. This is Jacob Cast 2024. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, my live stream. We're gonna do my review. We're gonna talk about having the show tonight, and then we'll talk about the news and rumors for I think AEW. We'll talk about the passing of a famous wrestler who passed away, and then we'll go to what happened on the show tonight on Monday Night Raw. Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments section you want to see my favorite podcasters and other YouTubers. JD from New York, Salamanca Sound Off, Fight for Pro Wrestling, Joe Cronin, No DQ, and the other podcasters I know of. Now I think I'll make it like an hour and 10 minutes. Might be a little bit short. Talk about Monday Night Raw, Punk speed for the first time since Mania. See him looking back for Hell on Rollins. We got Finn Balor, AJ Styles. Jey Uso calls out Logan Paul. Obviously, Logan Paul wasn't there. Styles and Balor clash the high-stakes singles match. We learned their story history. Jey Uso responded to Logan Paul's shocking attack last week, setting up their upcoming match at Saturday Night main event. I think the main event would be Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez and Julia in the tag team. We had the Whirlwind and the Creed brothers. Penta see some retribution against Chad Gable. Alright. Now these are the news and rumors over here. We got NXT Starfire back. NXT Starfire back at Ricochet, Tree, and Delete. Hold on, there's a commercial.
This week, I feel like it's been a while since I've done set week, but we've got a few candidates. First, we got to talk about Ricochet, and we got to talk about Javon Evans. Ricochet of AEW and Javon Evans of NXT. They got into it this week on social media. It was all prompted when a fan asked Ricochet what he thinks about Javon Evans. And Ricochet quote tweeted his response and said simply, "Ice wash." Well, Evans saw this, and he responded with a series of tweets that have since been deleted. The old tweet and delete, writing, "My bad, I just got done training at the Performance Center under Shawn Michaels, something that you don't have or do. But I bet your brown egghead ass would squash me if Tony told you to. Much love, OG. Hashtag the young OG, hashtag Tupac of this generation." Is that what people are saying about Javon Evans, that he's the Tupac of this generation? Evans apparently took lessons from Ric Flair on tweeting the first letter of every word with a capital letter. But Ricochet responded, "Brother, I was learning from Shawn Michaels when you was..."
Alright, so NXT star Mark Tony Khan in the War Wars with Ricochet and Hogan Rose. So Ricochet and Javon Evans went back and forth on Twitter. We got shown MVP after blacked Hogan for getting Benjamin's name wrong while on a media tour for his new freestyle wrestling league.
Well, then went on to become multiple-time champion. "Let me know when you win one, little boy. And yeah, if Tony asked me, I would definitely beat your ass, huh?" I'm just reading it verbatim here. Okay, it sounds ridiculous. I'm just reading it, okay? He later added, "Also, by just simply mentioning my post that I'm finally helping to be calling the president of the second biggest wrestling company a crack Because one day,
Alright, you know what? I think I'll show y'all the other news and rumors in wrestling. Alright. Now we had a famous wrestler who passed away.
so this doesn't.
The loss of a hardcore legend, Defa Sobu.
So this doesn't happen very often, but as I am sitting here recording this episode, I got a text message from a friend of mine with a tweet, and I had to go verify to see if this was true. And unfortunately, it is. So we have some breaking news here in the middle of the sound off, and this is from PWInsider.com, Mike Johnson. PW Insider is saddened to report that former ECW World Champion Sabu, real name Terry Brunk, has passed away at the age of 60. A cause of death has not yet been disclosed. Sabu had just worked his final match over WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas at the GCW Spring Break Show, defeating Joey Janela in a no ropes barbed wire match. He appeared last weekend at the Tri-State Wrestling Alliance reunion show convention at the 2300 Arena, that's the former ECW arena, which appears to have been his final public appearance. So that came out of nowhere, and I'm very sorry to hear that. 60 years old is too young, and it's just weird because I didn't see the show, but I was aware that he just had his most recent match. I mean, I think they were billing it as his final match against Joey Janela, and I remember he took that just brutal bump out of the rings. It was a no ropes barbed wire match. And he took this bump where he fell out of the ring, and it was a hard fall, like right on his head on the concrete outside. And, I mean, he took some punishment in that match, and it felt like he over the years. Sabu definitely influenced a generation of wrestlers. Whether you want to say that was in the 90s, I would be one of those people here in New York. You what?
Alright, now let me just now this is what we got on Monday Night Raw, some of the highlights here. Now this is how the show was here. The Brawl walked, Jack Gable. We got Dominic. We still got the storyline with Dominic and Finn Balor. Zayn and CM Punk team up against Seth and Braun. Jey Uso coming out. He's also holding the kid, doing the yeet. Jey Uso looking to shut Logan Paul up. Oh, Logan Paul wasn't there. Maybe he'll be on next week. I don't know. Gunther set his sights on the world champion. We got, Braun Breaker attacked Jey Uso. Sammy and Punk went to go check on him. Penta. We got Becky Lynch cut the Quinn promo. And I think the main event, Rhea and Io defeated Roxanne and Julia. Rhea Ripley wants her title back. They're teasing it. Now, this is what we got on the show. I think it's all we got. Now, the show opened up with CM Punk. He came out. Paul Heyman came out. Rollins came out with Braun. And CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso fight with Seth and Braun. I wonder if we will get a third person, but I think we will get a third person pretty soon. I think Seth is going to get a third person. Can it be two people? Can now Jay get involved? Even though he shouldn't be. He's the world champion. He should focus on Logan Paul. And apparently Gunther wants his title back. So, I don't know. All we gotta do is Punk and Zayn. We might get this at a Saturday night main event. Since it is in a couple of weeks, we could get the tag team match with them again, Braun and Seth. And then maybe we might get a third person, and then maybe we'll see Roman Reigns come back. We got Penta take down Chad Gable, very good match, a rematch. Penta got the victory, a very good match, a very good ending. Now Penta the same people. Chad Gable, that was a debut match back in January. He wrestled Ludwig, Pete Dunne, Dominic, Balor. He wrestled the same people the past few months. Chad Gable, I understand why. Chad Gable at Grande Americano, he got the IC champion at Backlash. So we had a match here tonight. Penta won. We had Cena Orton Epic Battle of Backlash. We had a backstage segment with Dominic and Finn Balor. They're still building to that the dissension. Balor will turn on Dominic. We just don't know when. I did love what he said here when he said he's acting like Rhea and Priest. Yeah, I think we're building to that. I don't know when, but Balor Dominic. Dominic gonna go babyface. Based on what happened at WrestleMania, him pinning Balor, him being cheated at WrestleMania, Balor gonna get jealous. Yeah, I think Balor gonna turn on Dominic. I think we're building to that. We have Seth Rollins back there with Braun and Paul. Rollins gave Braun Breaking assignment. The assignment was that he attacked Jey Uso. He left Jey Uso in a heap. We, we got the New Day. They help American Made defeat the War Raiders. American Made, they're winning matches. I get they want a shot at tag team titles. That shot and he lost. Build up the American Maids. Now since Logan Paul wasn't there and Jey Uso, he's involved in the feud with Seth, Braun, Punk, and Sammy. Gunther, after he beat Pat McAfee at Backlash, what Gunther gonna do? He cut a very decent promo here. Gunther laid down a challenge to Jey Uso. He challenged Jey Uso on June 9th. Next month on June 9th. It's actually the Raw after Money in the Bank. So, is Jey not gonna defend it on Money in the Bank? He could defend it at Night Champions in there. That's on June 28th. But he might not defend it. He might not defend it at Money in the Bank. I don't think. If he's gonna wrestle on the Fallout show coming out of Money in the Bank, he can wrestle Gunther. Maybe something could happen, or they might tease something. I don't know. Yeah, so yeah. We had another vignette. We haven't seen Rusev in the ring since he beat Otis, but second vignette now. Rusev found to be unstoppable. Can we please put Rusev in the ring, have him wrestle some challengers? Wrestling jobbers like Akira Tozawa and Otis did not get Rusev over. It just the vignette put Rusev in the ring with Gunther or something. Maybe they want to build that Rusev until I don't know. I actually want to see Rusev anywhere with guys like Braun Breaker or Gunther. I get they don't want to feed Rusev. I don't know. Have him wrestle Sheamus. Where's Sheamus? Put Rusev in the ring with Sheamus or something. They have history, and they're good friends in real life. We got AJ Styles and Finn Balor. What is AJ Styles doing? He's not had in the plan, but AJ Styles and Finn Balor. AJ Styles got the win because I think Penta got involved and screwed Balor. Balor was the one that tried to him at Backlash. But Penta should be focused on Grande Americano, not Balor and the Judgment Day. Have Penta go after Chad Gable. Even though I don't want to see it because we saw the match. I think enough by now. AJ Styles, he's not doing anything, just in the match. Balor, he got to tell his story with Dominic. We had Becky Lynch deliver a mic drop to the universe. I don't think we saw Lyra, but we saw Becky. Let's see what Solomon and JD have to say.
The future of trading is here. Chat, we got a whole bunch of people in here with us as we climb. And if you were to wait until tomorrow and you were to watch the highlights that they put up on their YouTube channel, you could be through the show in 10 minutes and really not miss anything significant. Raw tonight was nothing of any great importance. Nothing that happened on this show was of any real great significance. We did get a hell of a main event, though, with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky taking on Julia and Roxanne Perez. And Julia got to main event her very first episode of Raw in her very first in-ring appearance on Raw, which was pretty cool, even though she lost. And they teased tension between Rhea and Io when the match was over. Both of them were locked eyes on the championship. So still teasing some issues between the two of them. AJ Styles and Finn Balor, they had what was only the fourth match, singles match that they've ever had together. Fine match on the show. Nothing you need to go out of your way to see. A common theme on the show tonight was how dead this crowd was. They were in Louisville, Kentucky tonight. And it was pretty much the story with every match, or damn near every match on the show, where the crowd was just very, very quiet. And
well, nothing happened on the show. They haven't given reason to care. The only big storyline is Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, Braun Breaker, CM Punk, Sami Zayn, and their feud. And he's feuding with Logan Paul, but Paul's not there. So Gunther, he wants his title back. Pretty much it. Everything else is like a filler or taking a back seat or something.
To really be particularly interested in anything outside of the entrances, kind of key moments like that. Because what do they have? I mean, they had like what 10 or 11,000 people, I think, in the building tonight. And if you were watching the show, you would never really know it. Just watching the show was really, this show was deader than Boston's chances of winning 3 straight against the Knicks. It's just dead. But we have a new match added for Saturday night's main event. It is a tag team match. It is not the tag team match that I thought we would get, and maybe we still will at Money in the Bank, but we're getting Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker against CM Punk, and not Roman Reigns, but CM Punk and Sami Zayn. They're going to be tag team partners. They don't entirely trust each other. So that was added to the card. We already know Jey Uso is defending the World Heavyweight Championship on that show against Logan Paul. But we also got the announcement tonight that there will be a World Heavyweight Championship match, not at Money in the Bank, but on the Raw after Money in the Bank. And Gunther will get the winner of Jey Uso and Logan Paul on that show. And so what does that mean? The fact that they're saving it for Raw and they're not doing it at that PLE, is that significant of anything? Maybe. I don't know. We'll talk more about that and get into the rest of this show. This is your Raw on Netflix review. It is Monday, May 12th, 2025. I am the Solemn Monster. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on a Monday night, kicking off the week with yours truly. Do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Like. If CM Punk, the ring to address the audience. And he was not in a very good mood. But then again, when is CM Punk in a very good mood? CM Punk said that he was angry. He was angry with a bunch of different people, but chief among them, number one with a big fat bullet, he said. Twice he said, shame on me. So that was his fault for giving him a second chance. Even Jey Uso, he said, warned him about Paul Heyman when he came back to WWE. He called Heyman a fat little snake. Fat and little, I mean, that's kind of contrary to each other. He called Heyman a fat little snake. He said, so yeah, he's mad at himself. He's mad at Paul Heyman. He's mad at that little thing went at. And now Punk is out here gaslighting all of us. Is there that it is. And
this summer's hottest deals are at Ashley's Memorial Day sale. Check out our incredible select.
Has Triple A.
Alright, so
About
alright,
every time. And then how it is. Jane Free says, never heard of a cleaner wiener. Now for backlash, there was people that were coming into my stream and being like, oh, Santi stream crashed. So now the running joke, want to know what the running joke is? I'm plan B, because someone said, like, oh, you're my backup plan. So now the running joke is all of backlash. So it's Salcedo plan B over here.
Well, when you get those boosts, as I'm fixing my internet, just hit them with a bunch of ads. I'm excited for it. I sincerely hope that they don't go up against All In because I'd love to be able to watch both shows separately from one another and not have to bounce between the two. We're already having to bounce between the two between Battleground and Double or Nothing. Now, mind you, they've done that the past 3 years, so I'm kind of used to jumping between Battleground and Double or Nothing. It's not my first people that are very casual about AEW that will yeah. If it was like another big show that was intergender, if we're talking about a Money in the Bank.
People have been saying is, oh, women don't draw, women they're the pay per view always fails, right? Like that's always the argument, right? And you can't set them up like that.
Yeah, you're handcuffing them immediately right off the rip.
And it's not fair. I think right now the women are doing some of the best work, and we've been talking about that a whole lot, and we're going to talk about that right now because we had a phenomenal main event today in which Rhea Ripley.
I do want to say this about the Evolution PLE. If it were to flop, if it were to do terrible numbers, I wish it would flop on its own accord, right?
Yeah.
Not then us having to point at maybe an external factor as to like that was the reason. If it flops, right? I'd rather it
have the spotlight on them, man. Like people have been waiting for Evolution 2 for several freaking years. At one point, we didn't even think it was ever going to happen again, and then suddenly the women got so much momentum that people were starting just thousand. I thought it was such a slow paced match, man. War Raiders and American Made, I thought could have had a little bit more of a favor of a match there. There was just really nothing that even came close to the women's main event. The interactions with, particularly in this matchup, for me were. And I saw both of those girls work together. Oh, that was probably my favorite part here. And usually it's been the other way. It's usually been Roxanne and Io, but they've been doing their stuff too, and that was great. But today in particular, that's what stood out to me the most. But I love this match. What do you think of it?
I pretty much agree with everything that you're saying here. However, I will say, matchup that I was like, great match. So what's next? Like, what was the overall purpose of this? Was it just have a good match for the sake of a good match? Because it wasn't, hey, let's make Julia and Roxanne be the scary new threat in the women's main event scene. It clearly wasn't that. Cool that Julia got to make her main roster
point, right? Okay, so at the end of this, there's still that lingering feeling between that lingering feud between Rhea, but essentially, I'm going to take your title back afterwards. Maybe I read too much into that, but that's the way I read that. And so now, Rhea and Io, if they do run it back, though, does Io defeat Rhea again? Does this feel like we're running too many things back? Because there's another topic we're going to get into later on with Jey Uso and Gunther, where it looks like that is going to be run back again. So do we really want to kind of circle back to all of this? And then the other thing I want to get to is Roxanne Perez. Somebody brought up in my chat that she has not won a match since February. Do you think that is hurting Roxanne Perez at the moment?
Yes and no. I say no because she's still 23. I feel like at any moment they can snap their fingers and just have her go on a crazy win streak. But I think more than anything, we need to look at the context surrounding Roxanne Perez, which is she's main eventing Monday Night Raw. She is standing toe to toe with the giants of not just Monday Night Raw, but all of WWE and two of the biggest names in all of professional wrestling in Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. That to me is like dangerous threats in the women's division, and the result of the matches have and give me Rhea Ripley trying to get that win back against Julia. So a lot of the things that we put confuse what they're doing, lurking around, because that could really then
feel that way. And then with this particular matchup here, I feel like they found themselves in a situation where it was, yes, these girls, Roxanne and Julia, they should be picking up these wins. But at the same time, how do you justify the main roster women losing to two girls who are still NXT talents? And so I feel like you kind of got stuck in this like weird spot there. So I don't even know what to make of this anymore. But I still want to see, I'm interested in Rhea and Io. However, I don't know
love some clarification as to what the hell Julia and Roxanne are, because they keep calling them NXT girls, but Roxanne doesn't appear on NXT anymore. It looks to me like Julia has reached her end of NXT when she didn't even get a chance to go after that championship again. She lost to Jordan Grace in the qualifier match for Battleground. There's literally nothing at the moment for Julia to be doing on NXT. What are these two?
They haven't necessarily made the big hoorah moment of, hey, these girls are now. And so that's kind of where we're stuck at right now. We do got some super chats here, so let's get to them. We got McTardo here who says, Santi, you got explaining to do. No excuses from last weekend.
It's what it is. The people demand me. I'm a kebab.
We got David here who says, nothing to do with Raw, but at Backlash, I was sitting next to an obnoxious Cena fan. It was like Santi was sitting next to me. Annoying. Still can't get over that Backlash appearance. So awesome. Thank you, David, for sending in this super chat. Santi, do you feel like you are knowing John Cena? Oh, no, I was going to say, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Thank you, David. We got Anthony Giuliano here who says, I saw LA Knight at Walmart last Thursday in Orlando. It was a cool moment. My favorite thing tonight was standing ovation for Pat McAfee. That's really great. Here, he's doing comedy.
Person with the most screen time today was freezing Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, all right? He got his own entrance, not during commercial break, when Chad Gable and Penta both got commercial entrances. They waited for commercials to come back, for them to come back with commercials, to do a Pat McAfee entry, for Pat McAfee to get his moment, and then they did a video package of Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Then they had Pat McAfee do a standing ovation for the crowd. Then they had the Pat McAfee minute. Oh my God!
I think Triple H just really, really likes Pat McAfee. I think Pat McAfee is, because he has spoken very highly of him in the press conferences. And mind you, he speaks highly of a lot of people, but them kind of having Pat McAfee as that person to kind of be this, this bridge between the sports world and WWE, like they love that. It's great for them, right? And I think that's why they are protecting Pat McAfee and showing him all this love and respect on the show. And I'm a Pat McAfee fan, but yeah, dude is getting a lot. I mean, he's getting a lot. I'm a big Pat McAfee fan. I like the stuff that he brings to the table. I didn't love the ending of Gunther and Pat McAfee. Santi, my whole issue at the end was when Gunther had him in the chokehold. I'm like, yo, I can't buy Pat McAfee doing this slow enough to look too cartoonish, too cheesy. It wasn't working for me. I just wanted to see Pat McAfee get brutalized by Gunther. And so, again, I'm a fan, but yeah, they definitely like him. You can tell. Thank you, Anthony. We got Sin City Sting who says, if someone has been in the casino business for 22 years, then we got Uncle Don here. Great. Thank you, Bob Ross. We got David Montalvo who says, Plan B does this make Denise the AEW to Santi? Hold on. Plan B, this week.
Well, now we.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate.
Put it on. I'm like, they talk as if they destroyed the whole women's division, right? They kept saying the women's division has been put on notice. I'm like, you just lost the match. What are you fucking talking about? Why does your script say to say this when the thing?
Like, obviously, thank God Zoe's still there, but we haven't even seen Zoe on TV. We haven't even seen her in any backstage segments. Nothing. It's
Nothing.
Terrifying for them.
Nothing.
We got Dave Cost here who says Graps were the first tonight. Gable Penta was my favorite match. Then the main, and then AJ Finn, and I even dug the Raiders American Made bout. And guess what? No DQ is what a world. Likely why I loved it. Interesting. I'm happy you liked the show. I thought Gable and Penta was all right, but I've seen better from both Gable and Penta, and I've even seen better from both. Obviously Gable and WWE, but even Penta and WWE, I've seen better matches. And then AJ Finn was too boring, and Raiders American Made, no one gave a dang, unfortunately. So that's where we were at.
Yeah, I also, I think we're echoing the same sentiment here. Gable Penta was fine, but it's just, it's significantly worse than their match that they had when Penta debuted. I'll say that. AJ Finn, I don't, dude. It's like they were walking through the motion. And Raiders and American was okay, was good, yeah, but like, as well.
No
This
one
is an
here.
episode. This is an episode.
Yeah, that was very, very unfortunate. But again, at least we got the women's match, so that was fun. But yeah, you're right. No TQs, that is nice, so I'll give you that much. Dave also says promo wise, Open was great. Love that they booked a tag for the Saturday night's main event. Makes that Jade promo was terrific. Becky's Few People was well crafted. Does the content just was a hair long winded. All right, so let's get into the start of the show with that, with Dave's mention here. We had CM Punk basically go out there and talk about how he has trust issues, and that's the first we've heard of him since the attack following Raw after Mania. So he had a lot of things to say. CM Punk is not upset at anybody but himself for allowing himself to be fooled by Paul Heyman. He has some zingers in here, called Seth Rollins team of CM Punk, and then called Paul Heyman fat two or three different times, and even referred to him as a penguin. And then Paul Heyman goes out there, Seth goes out there, and this led to some back and forth between Punk and Seth. Seth the trying to kind of, basically say CM Punk was a bad friend to Paul Heyman, basically a lot of what he's already said. And this led to a melee between Seth, Braun. Eventually, Sammy went out there to help out, and Jay eventually went out to help out. So we ended up getting a 3-on-2 collision here, and they did make the matchup for Saturday night's main event: Braun and Seth versus Sammy and CM Punk. How'd you feel about what you saw out here, and are you digging it? How are you digging it?
Uh, this felt. Oh, you know what it is now. Now I'm realizing this is an episode of Monday Night Raw that was more focused towards building Saturday night's main event than they were about building something bigger. And maybe that's where I'm having a little bit of a disconnect with this show. Because I thought that this was fine, but like when you named the people that you just listed, I just was expecting a little bit more fireworks out of what we got. There was nothing I didn't like about this, but even the punk promo, the Seth rebuttal, sending Braun Breaker, that was cool. But they literally did nothing we haven't already seen. Like it was a rehashing of different versions of things that have already happened in multiple weeks. So in terms of moving the needle for me, in terms of the Seth and Punk stuff, the new faction stuff, the Punk and Heyman thing, Seth Rollins in relationship with Sami Zayn, it didn't move those forward in any capacity whatsoever. It did set us up for CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus the new faction at Saturday night's main event. But aside from that, I don't really feel like we pushed forward enough with this stuff.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I came wanted out of this was I want to see that friendship blossom between CM Punk and Sami Zayn. I'm sorry, I want to see it. I feel like they're two likable people. I really want to see the dynamic of them together. So that is the thing that I did like from this. And I did like some of the shots that CM Punk threw at Seth Rollins. I thought that was fun. The one thing, did you notice that the way that they presented the backstage segment with Seth Rollins was pretty much copy and paste how they presented Roman Reigns back in the day with the Bloodline on SmackDown? They did the exact same camera angle where they started off with a zoomed in, pensive, thinking Seth Rollins, zoom out, Paul Heyman's there, watching intently, and then suddenly he's revealed to be talking to Braun Breaker. That is exactly what they would do every week with Roman Reigns.
Yep, it's so funny. I literally was thinking the exact same thing when they were in that backstage segment. Another, I guess, aspect to mention is that we did have Braun Breaker attack Jey Uso backstage, cock blocking the only time that Ludwig Kaiser is able to get on TV, which is hilarious. And I guess that sets us up for Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso.
They're doing it next week. Look, I feel so bad for Ludwig Kaiser, but they've been having him do this every single week. Every single week he goes out there and says, "This is my year. 2025 is my year," and then nothing. And this time, the worst part is, Jackie's question was, "Oh, it's almost half the year, and we haven't seen you wrestle."
And then they just sorry, we don't care.
Why are you gonna call him out like that? Because he's not even suit is matches. You got to really stack it up. You got to really stack it up with some street matches. And right now they have a lot of possible ones like that. Thank you, Dave. We got Micharo here who says, can y'all please take a moment to talk about Sabu, RIP ECW legend, was and did so much for so many. Sabu. Some good ones. Welcome. I know Def Rebel has bad themes, but they also have bangers. Here are superstars with banger Def Rebel. At the top of his head, Roman, Seth Rollins, Solo, Jacob Fatu, Jimmy J, Luther, Io. Musical taste and what they like. Raj Jr. says, does it feel like WWE is trying their hardest to move SmackDown to Netflix, but purposely making it look bad on USA Network? Absolutely not.
I'd rather push out the new daily video as opposed to the.
And he was in the backhand. I've had this discussion with so many. Only on the show very briefly. He was in the back. I forgot who was walking. Someone was walking and he was in the back. Thank you. And he was in the back handing his t-shirt to somebody. Did you catch it? He was handing the t-shirt to.
Yeah, then he did.
Thank you. Okay. So he passed the t-shirt. That was it. That's all we got from Karrion Kross. And everybody was like, "Well, you know, what's going on? Why not more Karrion Kross?"
Well, that should answer your question, Steven. Like, if this guy can barely get 3 seconds of screen time and you get 0 seconds of talking points or matches, what makes you or me or anybody think that he's a viable Money in the Bank winner? I don't see it. I don't see it. I would love for him to. I would love for him to get these opportunities. But everything that I'm seeing says, nah, from the WWE.
Yeah, it's weird. Do you think, I don't even know. Do you think it's because they tried so many times and it didn't go over, so now they're kind of not wanting to invest in them, even though the fans are getting behind them?
Yeah, that makes no sense. Why not try when you should try? When the iron is actually hot. He's literally your number one merch guy right now. The fans are behind him. Why not try when he has the best opportunity to succeed? That seems weird to me.
Yeah, it is. And it's almost like what they had. It's almost the same thing that I feel kind of happened with LA Knight, where LA Knight got so over, but it just wasn't his time, and they didn't know what to really do with him. And then that kind of like, he still gets great reactions and people love to chant with him, but it's never gone above and beyond. And obviously, you know, I think.
Yeah, what is this? I had no internet all weekend.
I'm champion.
I don't think so. I think it's all about the world championship. I don't think it's.
And then the ring with Gunther and how you feel afterwards. You get done with chopping your chest. LMAO, they said be your pride.
Abilities.
Two things. Vince had over Triple H was unpredictability in his booking and theme songs. I can't co-sign on this one. For attention span like that kind of dedication. Pretty nice main event to me. Kind of feels like I don't have to absolutely tune in. Does it still have your attention span like that kind of dedication?
It doesn't. If I didn't do what I did for a living, I wouldn't feel comfortable missing Saturday night's main event. They've already had enough chances to win me over as hey, this is a can't miss show.
That I really wasn't expecting it to go this direction. We're gonna see Jey Uso versus Logan Paul happening at Saturday night's main event, and Gunther basically came out and said that he's gonna have a chance at Jey Uso or whoever wins the match, right? Whoever wins is gonna face Gunther. We all know Jey Uso's winning, right, Santi?
They made it even more obvious. They made it even more obvious. Like this is so textbook Saturday night main event booking. They care, and I don't blame them, but they telegraphed much beyond Saturday night main event. Week was the Royal Rumble, but Jey Uso had been announced for the Royal Rumble. He was literally the first person announced for the Royal Rumble match, right? I'm like, well, then this is not going to go into the fucking Royal Rumble match as the World Heavyweight Champion. I feel like they're doing it here. You're not going to do Logan Paul versus Gunther on the Monday Night Raw after Money in the Bank. That's not going to happen. So they basically, not that anybody thought that Jey Uso was going to lose to Logan Paul, But now, if I have to maintain an event, like it could happen, you know?
That's the bravest thing they did, and it was
That was Survivor Series.
that was Survivor Series.
That was Survivor Series.
This whole time I've been saying that was Saturday night.
No. Literally the only title that's happened that Saturday night's main event is Chelsea Green winning the final of the U.S. title.
In my mind, that has been Saturday night's main event. I kid you not. That's what I remembered.
To be fair, they were like a week apart.
Okay, thank you. Because I've literally been saying that like 100 times. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. That's all I remember. So technically, I have no memory of Saturday night. No, definitely not. He's barely even been there. Stupid. That was so fucked up. Stupid. I love Becky Lynch going off. On the next one. Bye, everyone. You're not crying. You're crying.
Hold on, gotta wait. There's a commercial. Hold on. Gotta see JD from New York.
Caffeine tonight. I'm ready to go. Gonna give you guys the best review in the game. No doubt about it. Shout out to Bishop Dyer, also known as the former Baron Corbin, Open Air Coffee, delicious. He sent me a nice little care package with some not yet released goodies. And oh my goodness, man, if you are a coffee connoisseur, man, some good shit coming out of Open Air Coffee, man. So shout out to him, thank you to him, and go and shop Open Air Coffee. Some really, really great stuff. I'll be posting some pictures tomorrow on my social media. But no matter how much coffee I drank, I could not get excited about Monday Night Raw. Could not get excited about Monday Night Raw, man. Not that it was a bad show. It was not a bad show. Don't take me out of context. Don't misconstrue what I'm telling you, what I'm saying. It wasn't a bad show. It just lacked enthusiasm. It lacked excitement. And it didn't really have much of a story behind anything. It was just there. It was pro wrestling. And we got little itty bitty pieces of where we're going. It's Saturday night's main event. CM Punk is back, which is always a great thing. CM Punk being back on the show is always a great thing. He just warrants excitement. Every time he speaks, people listen. Every time he speaks, there's some sort of story coming out of CM Punk. And tonight was no different. Tonight was the first time he had a microphone after WrestleMania concluded. And he was attacked by Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, only to be backed up. This is not the first time we've seen Punk, by the way. We saw him last week where he saved Jey Uso from losing the championship. He cost Seth Rollins winning the championship last week in that impromptu World Heavyweight Championship match between Uso and Rollins last week in the main event of Raw. CM Punk spoke tonight, called out Paul Heyman, basically gave us where his mindset was at coming out of WrestleMania, Paul Heyman turning on him, his best friend betraying him. Spoke a little bit about that. He was obviously interrupted by Paul Heyman and then Seth Rollins and then Braun Breaker. And it led into a chaotic situation at the beginning of the show. A brawl happened with Punk, only to be saved by Sami Zayn and then Jey Uso. And it's a 3-on-2 situation. We got Punk, we got Zayn, we got Uso, we got... So the big question, obviously, coming out of tonight's show from everybody is who is the third man. There's three on one side. The baby faces have three. The heels only have two. Who's the third man? Let's sit here and discuss who the third man is. We haven't really been given a clue as if there is a third man. We don't really have anything to go off of to figure out if there really is a third individual here, but it's not going to stop the community from talking about it. It's not going to stop the IWC from speculating who they wish to be in this new group with Rollins, Heyman, and Braun Breaker. Drew McIntyre, obviously the name chosen by many to be the guy to join Seth Rollins in this new group. Austin Theory's name's been thrown around. Logan Paul's name's been thrown around because it just fits. Seeing as to where we're going, it's Saturday night's main event. Logan Paul isn't there enough to really warrant a full-time spot in this new group. I would want somebody to benefit from being there every week and benefit from Rollins and Braun. Logan Paul doesn't really give you that vibe that he's going to be there every single week. So his name to me is automatically out of the question. Even though I can see why people have chosen Logan Paul. Bronson Reed's name was shown in the IWC. I posted something on Twitter today during the show. Bronson Reed's name came up a lot. I don't know if he's ready to come back, and if he is ready to come back, it may take another month or two for Bronson Reed to get back to the WWE, but his name is thrown around as well. The other name that I hope it's not, that some people were speculating it could be, was somebody on CM Punk's side, and that is Sami Zayn. Now, there was one instance tonight where Sami Zayn and CM Punk were in the back after this brawl to open the show, and we got a tag team match made. It's already been made official. It's CM Punk and Sami Zayn teaming up against Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. This is happening at Saturday night's main event. More than likely in the main event, I would say, unless John Cena's on the show. But even if he's on the show, the rumor is Cena's going to be defending the WWE Championship against R-Truth. So I don't know what the situation is there. They may save that for SmackDown. Who the fuck knows? But the tag team match with Punk, Zayn, Rollins, and Breaker is official for Saturday night's main event in Tampa. That is double or nothing weekend. It's going to be a big show. Sami Zayn. His name has been talked about. His name has been speculated. This is not the first time Sami Zayn's name has been mentioned as turning heel. First time we saw that was after WrestleMania, where they prolonged tease, that Jey Uso won the championship. He came out on the Raw after Mania, celebrated. Sami Zayn was in the ring. That just gave you a glimpse as maybe him turning heel. Camera work was kind of fishy on Monday night. He didn't turn heel, thank God. And it was nothing more than a simple tease. But now people are talking about it again. Because like I said, there was a backstage segment where Sami Zayn asked for CM Punk and his trust. And Punk said, listen, nothing against you. I'm just having a very difficult time trusting people right now after what Paul Heyman did to me at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn then came back with a rebuttal and said, and look at that. And look at how that turned out. We won. And it was good for everybody. CM Punk said, yes, you're correct. Sami wants to trust Punk, and Punk wants to trust, needs to trust Sami Zayn. Is there a possibility of Sami Zayn turning on Punk and joining the good fight with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker? I don't like it. I don't like it. I know people are talking about it. I just don't think that's the way to go. I don't want to see Sami Zayn turn heel. I don't. I think Sami Zayn being a babyface and chasing the world championship and just climbing that mountain and ultimately being the one to take the world heavyweight championship away from Seth Rollins is the way to go. I just don't see Sami Zayn being a heel in 2025 when we have all these other things that I would much rather see with Sami Zayn. I just don't think it would be emotional because of what he means to Jey Uso, and obviously Sami Zayn is a babyface through and through, so the shock of it would be great. I mean, how many people are going to turn heel? How many heel turns can we have? I feel like we've had a lot of heel turns over the last 6 to 8 weeks. Cena, we got Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker officially cemented himself as a heel. I mean, how many more heel turns do we need? Not everybody can Becky Lynch. Now, everybody concerned, Neil. I don't think that's going to be the case. I am putting my vote, casting my ballot for Drew McIntyre. I think that would fit perfectly into what's going on. He's got history with Jay. He's got history with Sammy. He's got history with Punk. It just makes sense. But Drew McIntyre is legitimately the fucking glue that would hold all. What do you got him doing on Friday Night SmackDown? Nothing. He's embroiled in the United States Championship title picture. It's great, but it's beneath him. Guy's world championship material. So they're fucking around with the United States Championship. I mean, he's legitimately the glue that holds this together. Not only does he have history with Punk, Zayn, and Uso, he's got history with Rollins. They got the same track of thinking. They got the same mindset. It just makes sense. It just makes too much sense. So for that to happen, we need a transfer window or a draft, which is rumored to be coming, or some sort of trade. I don't know what happens, but out of all the names people are discussing right now, because there's three obviously on the babyface side and two on the heel side, there's got to be someone. A dark horse pick would be Austin Theory, but he's not really doing much of anything, and they haven't really built him up to fit into this group and be equal to Rollins and Braun Breaker. He would obviously be of the group, just seeing how the company has booked him over the past 2 years. Basically a jobber at this point. But they didn't really of the group, just seeing how the company has booked him over the built him up to fit into this group and be equal to Rollins and Braun Breaker. He would obviously, I don't know what happens, but out of all the names people are discussing right now, because there's three obviously on the babyface side and two on the heel side, there's got to be someone. A dark horse pick would be Austin Theory, but he's not really doing much of anything. They haven't really built him up to fit into this group and be equal to Rollins and Braun Breaker. He would obviously be the weakest link of the group, just seeing how the company has booked him over the past 2 years. Basically a jobber at this point. But they didn't really do much. I mean, I'm looking forward to the tag team match. I thought it would be Reigns and Punk. They may be saving Reigns versus Punk sometime this summer. I have no fucking clue where they're going with Roman Reigns. This is his yearly vacation. After WrestleMania, goodbye. I won't see you guys till SummerSlam. It was set up for Reigns and Punk to team up, join forces, take care of Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, and then take care of business one-on-one with each other. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So Sami Zayn has now been integrated into this feud. I thought the Open was great. I thought the Open, not only Punk is back, but I just like how everybody's stories are coinciding at the same time. Everybody has something to do with each other. Sami has shit to do with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has shit to do with Sami Zayn. Seth Rollins has shit to do with CM Punk. Jey Uso and Sami. CM Punk and Jey Uso. Braun Breaker and Sami. Braun Breaker and Jey Uso. I mean, I just love how everybody's stories just come together, and it's like, it's almost like a puzzle piece perfectly fitting together. That's the one thing I like about this. And top of the card right now, the dynamic of a faction on Monday night, them leading the charge on Monday night, and then the baby faces coming together, and how everybody's stories just come together perfectly. This is why I said the next guy who joins Paul Heyman's group needs to be someone that also fits into this dynamic seamlessly. And that is Drew McIntyre. So hopefully that's the case. I like the fact that Punk is back. Every time he's back, it's great. It just feels important. The rest of the show needs to step up when he's there, because he can't be the only thing that. He's back. He had a microphone in his hands. He forwarded the story. We got the Saturday Night Main Event tag team match booked and confirms. And we got the little dynamic between Punk and Rollins, Punk and Heyman, Punk and Breaker, which is a future match. We'll see. We got the dynamic between Sami and Punk. We got the dynamic between Jay and Sami. And I just like the fact that Monday night has something to. Because right now they're not doing much. far as story with the World Championship, Logan Paul is just a non-factor. That match taking place at Saturday night's main event between Logan Paul and Jay Uso doesn't really have much story. They're just using it as an attraction. This is the story. And WWE is lucky that this faction exists on Monday night. Otherwise, there wouldn't really be much to care about on Monday night. But I do love the fact that all of their stories just cohesively come together. And everybody in this story is supposed to be there. And everybody in this story has had a thing to do with each other in every aspect across the last 12 months of television. Great stuff there. So the top of the card is taken care of. The top of the card was great on Monday night. And I'm invested. I'm interested. I can't wait to see where it's going. It's the rest of the fucking show that I'm struggling to care about. And that's tough. Because again, I said, this wasn't a bad show. I don't know if it was just the fact that they didn't do enough to forward the stories that we were given, or the crowd was just completely gone after that opening set. They started out hot. And then the crowd just simply died during the rest of the show. Thanks. Penta and Chad Gable had a rematch from his debut on Monday night back in January. Good stuff. And it looks like we're forwarding Penta at the Judgment Day, Chad Gable, Grande Americano, helping the Judgment Day. I don't know where that's leading to Triple A's WWE show, Worlds Collide. I don't know where that's going, but I would assume that we get the Lucha Brothers back together for that show against some mix of Grande Americano and the Judgment Day. So let's see what happens there.
I'm tired of rematch.
The women. I mean, they had a good showcase tonight. We got Julia and Roxanne in their first ever Monday Night Raw main events against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Great to see them in the main event. Good stuff there. Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. Gunther also was on the show tonight. He had nothing to do with Pat McAfee, but he wants the World Championship back. I guess he took care of his announcer fetish. And now he wants the World Championship back. So we'll talk about that. Match is already set. We got a date for his next championship match against whomever the world champion is. June 9th, Money in the Bank weekend. That's the Raw after Money in the Bank. So Gunther is getting a world championship match. And we have now T-minus 1 month before you know who returns to WWE. I wish I could tell you more, man. If I had the screen right there, I would. It's basically all that happened on Monday night. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to hang out tonight. I appreciate you guys very, very, very much for joining me here on this Monday evening. And you got words he chooses. This is Punk to Paul Heyman. Whatever words he chooses, choose wisely because they will be his last. Heyman walked out with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. He didn't say anything. Seth has the microphone and he speaks on that point. Seth says, when he thought he couldn't get any more selfish and egotistical, he said Heyman was his best friend and you made his life hell on the road to WrestleMania. And now you are out here in front of the entire world gaslighting all of us, trying to make us believe he betrayed you. You know, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. It's very difficult to not agree. And this is not the first time WWE's done themselves as heels, and they think they're heels because they're speaking their truth. But most of the time, the heels that speak their truth is the truth, and they're more right than they are wrong. So I don't know why they're actually making sense, why they're not doing the opposite and just healing it up. Here, Rollins is also, again, telling the truth. It's very difficult to sit here and disagree with Seth Rollins. I don't really. This is just me. I mean, you may feel differently. Whoever's in this chat may feel differently. Whoever's listening to me, wherever you're listening to me, may feel differently. I don't have any affiliation to any of these guys. I'm just a fan. Like, I love CM Punk. I'm a fan of CM Punk. I'm a fan of his work. I'm a fan of what he does. I'm a fan of Rollins. I'm a fan of what he's doing right now. I like this vibe he's giving off. I like this partnership. I like this fact. I'm not watching the the show as a fan,
Well, that's people
oh
I
man,
can
I'm
see. He was,
so
you know,
for
just
CM
saying
Punk, and I can't wait to
constantly,
see CM Punk kick
dragging
Seth
on.
Rollins'
I
ass.
don't like to say it.
That's like the type
I'm
of
not
heel
even
we're working
doing
with in
that.
2025. More of a cool, edgy. I'm gonna tell you the truth, and whether you want to boo me or cheer me, I don't really give a shit type.
A lot of people.
That's the way Triple H wants his heel to be. His heel should be portrayed in 2025. Is it a little bizarre? Sure. Is it against the norm? Sure. The Triple H usually has done different than the past administration when it comes to such things. There's no real babyface or heel up and down the roster. Not everybody's got to be billionaire. He's a babyface, he's a heel. It's almost as if he's letting guys go out there and just be. Fans will dictate what they are. Tonight, Rollins got booed because, I mean, everybody's pro CM Punk. So it was the first time, you know, outside the theme music being sung every week and chanted every week with Seth Rollins, it's the first time that Rollins has actually got a chorus of boos. And it's not really surprising because he's face to face on the microphone with CM Punk. He said Heyman believed in him when no one else did. He says he is scum and trash and he's human excrement. He said just when he thinks he can't hate him anymore, he does. Stand there in that ring, the person who is responsible for him not being the world champion right now. Punk says he will never be champion as long as he's standing on his 2 feet. Seth said Punk so desperately wants to die a martyr. He says he believes that can be arranged. He says he hopes he has prepared his last words. So we sent Braun Breaker to the ring. Breaker's wearing a black suiting into the ring. Punk went after him. Breaker starts throwing bombs at Punk in the corner, and he's just over and over again punching away at CM Punk. Seth joins him in the ring, taking his time. He took his jacket off because he's got his henchman out there doing his dirty work. Punk kicked Breaker and then went right after Seth Rollins. Breaker recovered quickly, and then it was a 2-on-1 situation. Sami Zayn made the save. No theme music. He came out just to save CM Punk with no theme music blaring and the cue for the babyface to come. So it was Punk, Jay, and Sami sending Breaker and Seth retreating to ringside as fans chanted yeets. Jay Uso out there. It's Punk, Sami, and Jay. Who's the third man? Again, I need to reiterate, Sami Zayn should not go heel. Would it be shocking? Sure. It would be shocking because nobody really is expecting it. And nobody thinks it's actually going to happen. But again, everybody has turned heel. Some major fucking names have turned heel. They don't need another one to go heel when his role is as a babyface. The one guy that makes sense for all of them. If Sami joins Rollins, and it's Sami, Braun, and Seth, I think we have a more difficult time finding a third man on Punk's side. The only one to me that sticks out that would make sense is Roman. And Roman's not going to be there until at least maybe Money in the Bank. Maybe. I can't see Roman Money in the Bank at SoFi Stadium. Maybe. But normally this is his vacation. From WrestleMania to SummerSlam, we don't see a lot of Roman Reigns. We're going to need someone that's going to be on TV every single week. Roman Reigns is not going to be that guy. He fits in that role. Who else fits on Punk's side if Sami ultimately turns heel? Only him. I can't think of anybody else. Who else is there? Cody's on Friday. Jimmy's on Friday. Who else is there? Sami should not go here. Drew McIntyre joining Rollins just fits because it's just another piece of the puzzle that just fits perfectly. Now the main event, in my eyes, was Saturday night's main event. CM Punk, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker. Love it. Can't wait. Should be great. Give them 20 minutes. Let them do their thing. Saturday night, prime time. Can't wait. But outside that, there really wasn't much to forward the story here. The two things I want you guys to really find as positives coming out of this segment. the faction and the baby faces. The faction that Rollins is leading and the baby faces. It gives Monday night a must-see every single week. Thank God we got it. Just envision this show without it. Looks just as bad as SmackDown. I like the fact that they have this group leading the charge. I like the fact that it gives the show meaning. I like the fact that they're setting the tone for taking over the show, and the baby faces are gonna have to do whatever they can to stop. And I like the fact that we have lots of television set. Jay versus Logan Paul.
Now it makes a lot of people pissed off that the
Looming
last one
again.
that was me.
Eventually. What? CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. Eventually.
Because the
Seth
thing
Rollins
said,
versus Jey
I
Uso
mean,
for the World Championship is undoubtedly going to happen again. And then you got the Money in the Bank. We don't know where any of these guys fit into Money in the Bank. We don't know if it's going to be a tag team match. We don't know if there's going to be CM Punk going after the briefcase. We don't know if Sammy's going after the briefcase. I mean, again, a nice dose of unpredictability. Rollins, I mean, we could all theoretically see these guys in that Money in the Bank ladder match. They all want the same thing that Jey Uso has, no matter if they're babyface or heel. They all want what Jey Uso has. So there's a lot of positive to come out of it. But they didn't really do much tonight to really push it
a
too
lot of
far.
people are confused.
Nice
think
little
the
brawl,
market now
promo
is
by Punk. Babyface is saved the day. We got the alliance. We got one side. We got the other side.
So
And we got the main event. Saturday night's main event already. That's it. I like it. I just need a little bit more. I want to dive in. I like it so much, I want to dive in even more. So I guess it's not really a bad thing that I'm wanting more because I'm enjoying what they're giving me. I just feel like WWE is just slow dripping it like they usually do. First match. Penta versus Chad Gable. They made their introductions, which is fine. The thing I did not understand is why Pat McAfee was given an introduction after Penta and Chad Gable. Penta and Chad Gable, but they gave him an introduction, theme music, and everything, and then he went to go sit by commentary next to Michael. He took away from Penta and Chad Gable's entrances by giving us Pat McAfee and glazing Pat McAfee. Now, I don't want to say anything negative about Pat, but he did a tremendous job on Saturday night at Backlash with Gunther. But I didn't really understand I mean, if you wanted to do something with Pat McAfee, he should have been the first guy after the first segment was over. All right, Pat McAfee's there. He got clean. He's going to sit next to Cole. Great. Here's the two guys that are in the ring. I didn't really like the fact that they did Gable and Penta and then McAfee. Should have been Pat McAfee, then Penta, and Gable. Just a little bit. This was fun. They went 11 minutes. WWE's been giving you some good raps lately. They just made me distant cousins. Gable repeatedly tugged at me with his Judgment Day stuff. There. He seemed to almost be ready to crack up during that segment. They're joking around, being that he's a little loopy coming out of Backlash. Dominic walked over to Finn Balor, said his hesitation with the chair almost cost him the Intercontinental title of Backlash. Balor says it didn't go smoothly, but it all worked out in the end. He might have did it on purpose, for all we know. Balor said it didn't go smoothly, but it all worked out. Balor told Dom he was beginning to sound paranoid like Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest when they were champions. Balor assured Dom he was going to take care of Styles for him tonight. JD McDonough began to explain time zones by using a skull as the earth, and the light above them is the sun. So they really wanted to nail home this joke about time zones. I don't know if you guys found it funny. I didn't really find it funny. But they wanted to go and do that as the joke of the moment for the Judgment Day set. Back at ringside, we got a video package with Pat McAfee and Gunther. And the match that they had a Backlash, which was good stuff. Might have went a little bit too long. He says he appreciated the opportunity, and basically, yes. So people were chanting Pat McAfee's name. They gave standing ovation for his contributions to Backlash, and that was it. New Day. They made their way out to the ring, and this was the down point in the show, which I'll get into in a second. They made their way out to the ring. They sat by commentary. They're being escorted out to the ringside area to sit on commentary during the next match between the War Raiders and the Creed Brothers of American Beauty. We go backstage to Sami Zayn sitting next to CM Punk, and this is what I mentioned in the beginning of the show. Sami sat next to CM Punk and asked him about this tag team match that has been confirmed for Saturday night's main event. It will be CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. He asked him about this tag team. He asked Punk if they're good and can they do it. Punk says he's having a tough time trusting anyone right now after what Paul Heyman did to wrestling. Sami said, listen, we have trouble trusting you at War Games when we team together, and that worked out pretty well for us. He says they each like to do things their way and have their own ambitions, but they can't get anything done with Heyman's crew standing in their way. Your dreams, your ambitions aren't going to be if these guys are still standing in our way. Sami offered a fist bump. Punk got him, paused, fist bumped Sami back, and that was the way the segment came. Sami had this look on his face where if you watch Sami Zayn closely at the end of that segment, it's almost as if he was slightly bothered by CM Punk, and he gave this like kind of weird facial expression. I don't know how to really describe it, but it was almost off-putting. So again, I don't think that Sami is going to heel. I just think Sami is in a way right now because Punk being in his feelings, and he wants this so badly that he's now being forced to team with CM Punk, yet he can't trust CM Punk and Punk show. It's amazing how WWE is like it needs to be studied so badly. Triple H dropped the ball on the New Day. The heel turn on Big E was fucking tremendous. Tremendous. They've done nothing with the New Day. They turned them heel and just let them exist. And it's almost as if you light a fucking fire and you just watch it slowly burn out. That's exactly what they did with the New Day. It's like I'm going camping and it's a fucking chilly night out and I'm lighting a fire and I'm sitting around the fire and I'm just enjoying the ambiance, and the fire just goes out. Half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, and this fire goes out. You don't throw another log on the fire. You don't fucking do anything to rekindle that fire. You just let it fucking die. It's exactly what he did with the New Day. So I'm left asking, A, why should I care? B, why are you pushing them as the champions and doing nothing to enhance their heel act? Now, the tag team divisions on both shows are fucking terrible. It's just now, the last couple of weeks, with the fucking shot in the arm that the SmackDown division got from that TLC ladder match that we got a couple of weeks ago. Finally, things are starting to click. Then you bring up Fraxium and you put them on Friday night. They're a great fucking tag team. They're the best tag team in the world right now. What are you doing for the Monday Night Raw tag team? We're stuck with the fucking War Raiders, who are a great team. But my God, man, when you want to feel sleepy, you go reach for the medicine cabinet and you pull out that Benadryl PM. You don't need it. Just put on a fucking War Raiders match and just listen to the audience. You'll be sleeping within minutes. That's how bad this tag team division is. The War Raiders are great. No reason to care. The Creeds are great. No reason to care. The New Day could be great. They've given us no reason to care. The Judgment Day, you want them as champions? I know I don't. What are we doing to help foster in some excitement with the tag team division? This is where the show just drops off the fucking cliff. Crowd was hot. Crowd was into Penta. Crowd was into Gable. Crowd was into Punk and Rollins and Zayn and Uso and Breaker and Heyman. As soon as the tag team match hits, 11 minutes. Nothing came out of this that anybody is going to care about when they wake up tomorrow. Ivar will pick it up after a commercial break.
See, I never want to kick you out. I didn't want to kick you out. What I said to you, I meant what I said. I like you, I think you're very funny.
I don't know what we do. I don't know where we go. I don't know where this shot of adrenaline is.
I said to you, I like you, you're very funny. I want to do it.
Insanity. New Day was failed as they helped the Creeds get one over on the Warriors. Hayden Crawford says it's a three-way now. Is it a three-way now? They're looking to spark that same excitement coming out of the SmackDown three-way with the Raw three-way. Okay. They made it a three-way. Okay. That still does nothing to elicit any excitement. I'm sorry. I just don't. Seth Rollins, who's backstage with Braun Breaker after the tag team match. He told Braun that Punk, Jay, and Sammy might feel like that. Seth told Breaker, listen, Heyman's still in the background, smiling like a creep. Jay was up. They ran it back. They did it again. You know, Louisville and every other city that Jay is in, they just love to eat.
Well, I will end the video. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe my channel. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.